What is going on, guys? I am SceptileMC George, the coach of your San Francisco Arcaniners, here to bring you my Season 6, Week number 4 match against the Lord himself, Lord MV, coach of the San Diego Chimchargers. Now, if you guys want to see the team I built and why I made my team, I do have the team builder in the description below. I highly suggest, highly suggest you go check out MV's channel if you have not already. I'm assuming you all know him, but if you don't, his link is in the description. He is a phenomenal battler, and just very overall, just a very good Pokemon player in general. So, the team he decided to bring against me is the Haxorus, the Togekiss, the Blaziken, the Jirachi, the Donphan, and the Keldeo. Immediately after seeing the team, I think, no Gyarados. Thank God, because the Gyarados is a huge problem. And I see the Blaziken. I did not expect the Blaziken, and I did not bring my Latias. He does have the Jirachi and the Togekiss, so those are the main reasons I didn't bring Latias anyway. I'm starting to see that my Infernape set, while it can do a lot of work, he also brought the two things that I can't do any damage against. So that's not the best thing in the world. The Togekiss, I'm assuming, is going to be a defog set, or the Donphan is the Rapid Spinner, obviously, and then I'm assuming the Donphan is going to have the Stealth Rocks, and the Jirachi is going to be some weird, like, substitute set. The Blaziken, I'm assuming, is going to be Choice Scarf, but I'm not too positive about that, but Choice Scarf is the most likely option, because then it outspeeds the Mega Beedrill, can also hit the Snorlax, and the High Jump Kick in general does a lot to everything, and then the Flare Blitz does a lot to everything. I don't like Scarf Blaziken against my team. And the Keldeo, he does not like Specs or Scarf Keldeo. I know that. I've not seen him run a Choice Keldeo, I believe. I want to say any of the weeks. But he does love Substitute Keldeo, so I am going to keep that in mind in this battle. And without further ado, let me get on into the battle. So, looking at his team, I don't see a good lead matchup for me, because it could be anything he leads off with. So I decided to lead off with my Nidoqueen. I do believe he would lead off with his Rock Setter maybe, or his Choice Scarfer, or something like that. Now, I do not have the T-Bolt. I do have the Earth Power instead of the T-Bolt, or the Sludge Wave over T-Bolt, whatever you want to say, except I do have the Passion Berry. So this lead matchup is actually pretty good for me, as I decide, you know what, he's probably going to go for a sub or something, predicting me to switch. I'm just going to go for an Earth Power. I do have the Passion Berry in case he does actually go for an attack anyway, which he doesn't do. So I do get off my Earth Power. Now, right here I'm thinking, now he might go for a Scald, and I think I'm going to switch out now. So I decided to switch out into my Gardevoir. I do have the Synchronize, so if I do get burned, I do burn him as well. I don't have the Heal Bell on this Gardevoir, except I do have, that's just a lot of pressure on the Keldeo, especially because it's a substitute set, as we saw before, and that did absolutely nothing to me. He does get the burn. It's unfortunate, but it's like a double-edged sword. It's not a bad thing, it's not a good thing. So I do have leftovers though, and I do heal up. I see that he does not have leftovers, so I don't know his ability, his item quite yet. I do believe he's going to switch into Jirachi right here, and I do predict that. So what I'm actually going to do is go for my own Will-O-Wisp, and you guys will see by turn 4, I do have 2 of his largest threats to my team completely crippled and burned. The Keldeo doesn't have any survivability anymore, and if the Jirachi is a physical set, which I'm assuming it is, it's not going to be able to do much damage to me. So right here, I do decide that I do not want to take an Iron Head, even if he's burned, so I'm going to make the safe play and switch out, and go out into my Nidoqueen right here, as I get hurt by my burn. Now I switch out into my Nidoqueen. I could have gone into Melodic, however, I kind of felt that would be too passive, because at least with Nidoqueen, I have the capabilities of taking Jirachi out, and with Melodic, I'd have to stall a bit, and if he was a weird trick set, I don't want to deal with it. So I go into Nidoqueen right here, and I just fire off an Earth Power right here. It's my safest play. It hits pretty much everything. If he wants to go into Togekiss, I go for Sludge Wave on the next turn. So he goes for a Hidden Power right here. HP Ice, maybe? HP Ground, I'm not sure, but it's super effective against me. And I go for Earth Power, and I take out the Jirachi turn 5. So this is a huge start for me. Very good in my favor right now, but he goes into the Haxorus, and I know that I stayed in last time against the Keldeo on the substitute. He's probably going to play it safe and just go for Earthquake this time, so I decide to go out into my Snorlax right here. Now, this is where I made a mistake. Not to switch into Snorlax, but the play after this. But I have to talk about this really quick, so I'm actually going to I'm going to pause the video right here, and I'm going to, actually, I'll let him go for Earthquake first. So, I had 3 possible plays I now could make, as I do pause the video now. There are 3 possible plays I can make. I do have the Self-Destruct, I have the Body Slam, and I have the Toxic. So, if I go for Toxic, I will be predicting the switch into most likely the Donphan, which can 90% of the time whilst any Snorlax set. So, unless I was Curse, but I don't think he would expect me to bring Curse in this game. However, so I go for Toxic, I could go for Body Slam, or I could Explode it. If I Explode and he goes into Donphan, I'll do about half to Donphan, but that's a complete waste of my Snorlax right here. And I want to save my Snorlax's Q-Stop Self-Destruct for a more dire time, I guess I would say. For example, if the Haxorus was a +1/+1 Dragon Dance of Haxorus, I would want to Self-Destruct on it. That would be a good plan right there. Go for the Body Slam right here. It's kind of the in-between play between the Donphan as well as the Haxorus. I can get a lot of damage on the Haxorus. I can get a decent amount of damage on the Donphan. I can then take an Earthquake, and I can get possibly put into Q-Step range, etc., etc. So I decided to go for Body Slam, but this is actually going to be the worst play I could have made. Because as you see, he does go for the Dragon Dance right here. And I should have Self-Destructed. I really should have Self-Destructed, but the Donphan the switch to Donphan was too obvious, and it just would have been a waste of my Snorlax, and I feel a lot of people would have made the same play in my position as I did. And it was actually a roll right here, because I am a max defensive Snorlax. If he would take me out, it's like a 40-60 roll in his favor if he would take me out right there, if he was adamant, which he was. And he did get the high roll, which of course it was in his favor anyway, but he did get the high roll to take me out there. Then he goes for a Dragon Claw right here, and all I can think of is, holy shit, what is this fucking Pokemon? This thing did so much damage to me, and then I realized it's Dragon Fang, so that's even more damage off of me. I don't have the Icy Mine, I have the Dragon Tail, so I go for that. And I get him into the Keldeo. Now, I actually want to pause the video again right here. So, right here is another big play, because my Melodic is a very important member of my team. And it's one that is really my only way of stopping or of checking the Donphan, the Blaziken, and pretty much that's all I have to worry about now, because I do have my Togekiss, I do have my Nidoqueen, and I can use the Sludge Wave on the Togekiss. I have the Passion Berry and Taxdale, but I want to keep my Melodic. However, the switch into Gardevoir right now is extremely obvious, because the Secret Sword is extremely obvious. So I think, you know what? If he goes for Scald and hits my Gardevoir, I now not only have a dead Gardevoir, but I have pretty much a dead Melodic. So I kind of think it over, and I think, you know what? I think he's going to go for Scald. I can't switch into my Gardevoir, and I have to pray that I can get off the recover right here, because if I switch out, it's basically the game, because I have 2 dead Pokemon, basically, and then I have my Mega Beedrill and my Infernape. So I decide right here that I'm just going to stay in, and you guys will see that he actually does go for the Secret Sword, so he is going to be able to take me out. Should have gone into Gardevoir there, but overall, this was the safer play, I guess I would say, because I do still have a chance, because I did not see what he has in store for me, actually. But you guys will see as it goes. In my head right now, I have a very good chance of winning this game still. But because I lose the Melodic, I have cost myself very severely, and I go into my Nidoqueen right here. I know I can take any hit. I decide to go for the Earth Power right here, because I do have the Passion Berry, and I don't think he has the Hydro Pump because he has the Substitute set. So I go for Earth Power. He decides to sack off the Haxorus, so I get 2 kills for Nidoqueen here. And this is when I just realized what's about to happen. And he goes into Donphan, and I'm thinking, why would he go into Donphan on my Nidoqueen? I guess I don't have anything to take an Earthquake, so I am going to stay in right here and just go for an Earth Power. And he goes for the Rock Polish. And I think it's 5-4 right now, or 4-4. And I think I just lost. It's like, how he just used Donphan and used Rock Polish. And my only hope is if I crit with Mach Punch right here, which I don't do, and I just lose the game to a Donphan right here. My Beedrill does not have enough speed to outspeed a +2 Donphan. I expected this entire time that the Donphan would be a physically defensive set, or especially defensive set, or a bulky set in general, but that is not what he brought. and in fact, it is just going to absolutely destroy my team. I try here. I think, you know what? Maybe he didn't run enough speed to outspeed the Beedrill set I have. Maybe he's just like max HP, max attack. I don't know. I'm just going to go for Protect here. I'm just going to see if I can Mega Evolve and try to get off an X-Scissor. And you guys are going to see that he decides to just end the game in style, going for the natural gift fire against me, even though I did that last season against John. And MV is going to be picking up the 4-0 win against us because of a rock polished Donphan that I had no idea was going to come. I did not think I would ever need to face a rock polished Donphan, and it just obliterated my team. That's it. That's the game right there. I was doing so well at the start against him, and I thought at the start, like, wow, I took out the Jirachi, I've been pressuring him with Needle Queen, and then the Haxorus came out, and then I didn't go for self-destruct when I should have. Overall, I expected him to want to go out into Donphan there because I thought it was a bulky spread. I didn't know it was an offensive spread. If I had known it was offensive, I probably would have gone for self-destruct, but you can't predict an offensive Donphan like that. You can maybe predict a banded Donphan, but then it still doesn't want to switch into like a self-destruct or anything like that. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the game, and we take our first loss of the season against Lord MV, and he goes to 4-0, and we go to 3-1. Now, MV, that was a fantastic game, bro. At the start, I thought I had you at the start. I really thought that I was in control, but in the end, you just had all these crazy stuff up your sleeve that just took me by surprise, and I just wasn't able to deal with it. And I didn't even get to see the Togekiss or the Blaziken, so that's just what happens. I prepped for so much setup on his team. I was so prepared to deal with every single kind of setup, except for a rock-polished Donphan. That is the only thing I did not think I would ever have to face, and GG, it's MV. That's all I can say to you, MV. I wanted to say GG, it's MC at the end of this video just for like a joke, but I'm not going to be able to say that because I lost pretty badly. But yeah, guys, that is going to be it. So I do apologize to the Arcaniners Nation. I really wish I could have pulled out a victory here, but you learn more from your losses than your defeats. And what I kind of learned from this is a secret, because the only way I'm ever playing MV again in this season is in the playoffs, and I believe it would have to be in the semifinals or something like that if I were to ever play MV again. So MV, I learned a bit about you, and you're not going to get me with a rock polished Donphan next time. I can promise you that, bro. Anyways, guys, I'm SceptileMC George, the coach of your San Francisco Arcaniners, and I will see you guys next week. Peace out.